Hey everybody, it's Silver Seeker, and this video that you're about to watch is a long time coming. In fact, my friend Rob Finds Treasure would say, finally, Seeker, finally, because he's known I've been holding on to these for a whole long time, and they've just been sitting there, and I haven't gotten around to actually searching them yet. And I think a lot of it has to do with I'm afraid that I'm not going to find anything. In fact, the chances of me finding what we're going to be looking for in these rolls is pretty slim to none. So I would say, I'm probably not going to find it, and not doing them was kind of my way of still holding on the hope that I had something really, really cool. So what we're going to be looking for, guys, is the very rare and very coveted 1969 DDO Lincoln cent, the DDO-001. This is a very strongly doubled example of the 1969S, and it is quite literally worth, even in circulated condition, thousands to tens of thousands of dollars. And if you get it in uncirculated condition, I mean, we're talking $40, $50, $60,000 even. Wow, the coin is worth a ton. Now, our chance of finding it is incredibly slim, but we have 500 1969S's to look through. That's right, we have 10 rolls of 1969S Lincoln cents that I have never looked through before. Now, I've picked these up a while ago from a bank haul where a person turned in a bunch of old coins that was left to them. There was nothing in them as far as Wheaties, so I'm assuming that they knew that all of the wheat cents were worth more, but anything 59 and on, they had rolls and rolls. I mean, we're talking boxes of rolls of all of these different years, and inside those years were the 1969S's. Now, unfortunately, there were no 1972s, so we can't look for the 1972 DDO as well in another video, but 10 rolls of 1969S's, that's 500 1969S Lincoln cents that we get to look through, hoping we can find a DDO. Our chances of finding it, even with 500 at once, is very, very slim, and that's why the coin is worth so much. But we have a whole lot of coins to hunt, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So let's go. It is time to hunt these 1969S Lincoln cents. Okay, guys, so like I said, we have 10 rolls. All of these are labeled 1969S on the side. And like I said, I don't think I'm actually going to find a 69S double die obverse, but man, it would be really cool. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 rolls of 69S's. At least that's what it says on the side. I could end up being really disappointed and find out that we don't have any 69S's in here. But I believe, based on some of the other rolls I've opened up, that we do. So I don't remember which one of these that I originally opened to look on the end and see if they were brown. But as you can see right here, this one is a brown roll. So these are probably all going to be in circulated condition. We'll go ahead and get the ends open, and we'll just kind of pour them out, and we'll take a quick look. And I'll be using a loop like this one to go through it. This is a triplet loop. So we'll be looking at them really closely and hoping that we find them. And if we don't, oh well. So let's go ahead and get this open. And it does look like they're all circulated. I mean, you got a little bit of color on 1 or 2 of them in here, but nothing really special. So what we're going to be looking for, of course, is the 69S DDO. Here's a 69S up close. It doesn't look like there's any doubling on this one, although there's a decent amount of detail. Now, we do have our scope ready to go for this. So you can see our scope there in the bottom right corner. We'll be putting it there under the scope. And if we see anything cool, we'll actually get up really, really close to it. And like I said, in the first one, nothing there. But we're going to be looking for that 69S DDO, like the one that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these. And if I find it, I will definitely let you know. And just a quick update, if you notice, I've only looked at a couple, but we actually do have some decently lustrous 1969S's. Again, I don't expect to find one, but if I found one and they looked like that, I'd be really darn excited. Chances are the person that was putting these in rolls knew what the 69S DDO was, so I don't think I'm actually going to find one, but again, we're going to go through them. So I've actually decided that the loop is a little bit too slow, so I'm just going to use the scope just like this, and we're going to take a look at these pretty quick by just placing them under the scope, looking, and then moving on. It doesn't take too long to spot a DDO-001. So if we see it, we'll see it pretty darn quick. So far, I'm through about 20 cents, and I haven't found any just yet. Okay, so due to one that I thought I ended up seeing, I zoomed in farther. We're going to stay zoomed in like this now. I zoomed in because I thought I saw something. Unfortunately, I was wrong. But this one right here, this is number 50. So we have been through the first roll with, unfortunately, no success. We still have 9 rolls to go, though, so let's keep on hunting. Okay, so we are currently sitting in roll number 2, and although we haven't found any DDOs yet, if you take a look at this S right here, it does look like we possibly have a repunched mint mark. So it's not exactly what we're looking for. It's certainly no double die DDO or anything like that, but it is something, so we can put it in a pile, and at the end of this video, if we don't find anything else, at least we can say we found something. Okay, guys, so we are still in roll number 2. Now, this is cool. Look at that. Now, this is not, unfortunately, what we are looking for either. So this isn't like a double die obverse. This is what you see, or what you call machine doubling. And if you take a look at like the 9, the 6, and the 9, and on the S, you can see where it's actually smashed in. So as the machine, you know, it struck it twice, shifted just a little bit, the planchet did, and it pushed part of the numbers back into the planchet. So it's machine doubling. It was caused by the machine as it was being pressed. But either way, definitely cool. Like I said, looking at this S, you can see the impression where it was smashed in along with the 6 and the 9 and even the first 9 over there. Just really, really cool. It's not a DDO, but we'll take it. Okay, guys, here we go. Once again, we are still sitting in roll 2 and yet another machine doubling. So that is, again, another machine doubled 69S that we have found in just our second roll. Now, again, the machine doubling is not what we're looking for. That is not the big money. But this is actually pretty darn exciting because we have now found 3 machine doubled 1969S's, which is honestly pretty cool. That is more than I expected to find. I didn't expect to find anything at all. Even with 500 coins, you cannot get upset about that. That is really cool. Okay, guys, here we go again with roll number 2, and it looks like we have even a little bit more. So I was first looking at the S thinking that could have been, you know, just random damage. I didn't think so, but then we looked up at the 9, and it's also here on the 9. So not only on the 9 do we have some machine doubling, we also have some machine doubling on this S. So this is still roll number 2, and we have now found 4 machine doubled 1969 S's. Now this is pretty crazy. I didn't find even one of these in the first roll, so that's really interesting. That's interesting to think about, that we have now found 4 examples of a machine doubled 1969S in roll number 1, or roll number 2, I should say. All right, so now I'm starting to get really excited because if you think about it, if he wasn't pulling out these machine doublings, was he pulling out any doubles at all? Is there actually a chance we can find an actual 69S DDO in these coins? Let's keep on hunting and find out. I don't know, but wow, really cool. Okay, guys, here we go again. Another 69S. We're still in the second roll, and if we look at this S, it does look to be machine doubled. In fact, you can see a little bit in the 9 and the 6 and the 9 as well right here, but the S shows it very clearly right here. Man, that is really cool. Goodness, guys. So this is neat. We are finding stuff. This isn't what we need. I mean, it's not a 001, but the fact that we have found anything at all is pretty darn exciting, and the fact that he is missing all of these machine examples is really exciting as well. So we're going to put those aside. We're going to look at those at the end of the video, but we still have over 400 of these to look at, guys. 400 of these to still look at. Okay, guys, so it's been a little bit. We are now in roll 4. I do have a little bit of machine doubling in the S, which I've almost ignored, but then when I went up to In God We Trust, take a look, we have some machining in all of the word trust right there. That almost looks like doubling as opposed to machine doubling. It really does, but when you look at the top of the R, it clearly looks like a machine double there. And then, of course, when you look at the S, it's clearly a machine double there. Just one spot of that R just kind of looked like it. But either way, we have the first example of machine doubling noticeable in the In God We Trust at the top. And, of course, it goes along with the S, you know, with a little bit of machining in that. So, very cool. We'll put that aside. Roll number 4. Now, we still have plenty more to go, but let's keep on going and see if we can find some more. Okay, now we're almost all the way through roll 4, and we do have another example of machine doubling. It's not severe, but we have the S. If you look at the 9 and inside the 6 on the 6-9, and then we have a little bit of it up here. If you look at like the top of the R and the U, the top of the S and the top of the T, you can see some machine doubling in there. So we're going to put that one aside as well, add it to our pile of machine doubled examples, which puts us at 8. Of course, one of them was really striking. All right, let's keep going, guys. We still have over 300 of these to search, so we got a lot to go through. Okay, here we go. Roll number 5. We have another good example of a machine double. So we have the S and all of 1969 pretty strongly machine doubled, which is really cool. And I didn't see too much in God We Trust, but it is there. If you look at the top of the T, the S, the tips of the U even, nothing really in God and We. And then over on Liberty, not really much to show at all. But looking at 1969S, really cool. Sweet. So we got another one here in roll number 5. Roll number 5, we have another machine doubling here. Look at this, 1960. And I don't see anything in the second 9, but the 196 and the S. And I don't, well, at the bottom of the T. And that's it, but really cool, guys. That's 2 in a row right there. Check that out. 1969 S. We got a second machine double DDO in that roll. Okay, guys, so we're at the end of roll number 5, and I just stopped pulling them all out because roll number 5 was just chock full of examples of some machine doubling, like this 1969 S right here. You can see machine doubling on the 1969 and the S. Very, very cool. And then let's keep going because we actually found quite a few in just roll number 5 alone. Look at that, guys. That is huge right there, here and here. And it looks like it smashed a little bit into the S as well as the 1. So another good example, the top of the T definitely was pushed down too. Another good example of machine doubling right there. And then in this one, if you look at this, it's just in the S, looks almost like a repunch mint mark, but either way, just awesome. I mean, we're just finding all sorts of machine doubling on these 69 S's. Same here, you know, almost looks like an RPM, but you also have like the 9 right here. You have the example of the 9 in here as well. Here we go on this one. Look at this, in the 9, top of the 1, the outside of the 6, and then of course the S, very strong. And then here we go with this one, another strong example. You know, here, 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 you can see it all over the place on this one. Really cool. And then finally, look at this, another good example. Okay, so we've been through 5 rolls, and these are all the examples that we didn't find anything on. These are all 69 S's, but that's not very exciting. What is very exciting is how many we have found something on. This entire pile has some form of machine doubling, and that is really darn exciting if you ask me, including some very lustrous ones like those. So you can't get upset about what we found so far. And guys, we're only halfway done. There's still 5 rolls to go. You never know what we're gonna find. So let's keep on going. Oh, here we go, guys. Okay, so this is roll number 6. And look at that, we do have definite machine doubling. On the 1, the 9, the 6, and the other 9, also on the S. Let's take a look and see. I don't see anything. Trust, God, or in. And nothing on Liberty besides a squashed left of the L, which is pretty common. So either way, guys, roll number 6, we do have another machine doubling. Okay, guys, here we go in roll number 6 again. It's not very bad, but if you look at this, we do have a little bit of doubling in the 9 right there. And it looks like in the top, so you have the top of R, actually inside of R as well. The U, the top of the S, the top of the T. Very cool. All right, very neat. So we'll put that in another pile. Okay, guys, we're on roll number 7, and here we go again with the second 9, and inside the S a little bit as well. Let's take a look at the top. So I'm starting to guess that these minor machine doublings are a little bit more common than I thought they were when I started doing this video. Of course, I've never looked through 569 S's before. Oh my goodness, in fact, here we go again. Of course, this one is also corroded, but we got the same thing. Top of the 9, right here on the 6, top of the S. And a little bit in the U and the R. Maybe on the top of the T, but definitely in the R and the U and the S. Yeah, So this one's corroded though. I mean, I'm gonna put it in the pile of finds, but with the corrosion on it, I wish it looked like this one. Of course, this one's got a spot, but still. All right, let's keep going, guys. Okay, guys, so here we are in roll number 7, and it looks like we do have some machine doubling here. So on the back end of the 9, you can see a strong impression here, as well as inside of the S. So let's take a look at In God We Trust. Don't see anything on In God We Trust, and finally at Liberty. And don't see anything there. But either way, we do got a little bit of doubling here in roll number 7. Okay, guys, we're inside roll number 8 now. And if you look at this S on the back end, you have a little bit of impression there from machining. You also have inside of the 9 and a little bit on outside of the 9 as well. Possibly a little bit in this one, but I don't think so. Let's take a look at In God We Trust. Don't see anything there. And then finally, let's take a look at Liberty, and nothing in that. Okay, guys, so here we go. Still in roll number 8, and look at this, 1969 S here. That is some serious machine doubling right there. Look at that. Really, really cool. Very strong doubling in the S, of course, in the 1969 as well. I haven't yet looked at In God We Trust or Liberty. And I don't see anything really going on in God We Trust. And I don't really see anything going on in Liberty as well, but take a look at 1969. That's pretty cool. All right, that's a strong one right there. We'll definitely put that one aside. Very cool. Okay, guys, here we go. Still in roll number 8. Check this one out. You got doubling here on the S, on the back of the 9, inside of the 6. Of course, this is also machine doubling. But we do have more machine doubling. This one's not near as nice as the one we found before as far as how strong the machine doubling is. But it is machine doubling in the date, so we will take it. All right, guys, here we go in roll number 9 again. Looks like we have a little bit of machining at the top of the 9, inside the S as well. And I think that's about it. Maybe on the 6, but I don't really see anything strong. Taking a look at In God We Trust. Big splotch there next to the I, and then down into Liberty. So we do see a little bit of machining in the word Liberty here. If you look at right here inside the R and in the top of the T down inside the Y, looks like we have a little bit of doubling there as well. So very, very cool. All right, guys, here we go. Roll number 9 again. This one is definitely strong, man. It almost looks like DDO. Almost. But take a look at that. On the back of the 9, on the inside of the 9, look at the 1. Take a look at the S. Take a look at the 6. Let's see what's going on In God We Trust. Don't see anything on In God We Trust. And nothing in Liberty, but either way, that looks really good. All right, I like it. All right, guys, well, we are down to our last 4 coins. And I figured, why not share it with you? We got 4 to go. This is one of the 4. And we're just hoping that, and there's 2 shiny ones in here. We're just kind of hoping. Oh, this one's got the ring, though. Look at that. Ring of Death went right through the S on that one. Goodness. Oh, right through his skull. Gross. All right, here we go. 2 to go. Nope. Don't see anything there. And no dice. And here we go, guys. Number 500, all 1969 S's. And that is it. Okay, guys, so we searched 500 1969 S's. I tell you what, I didn't think I'd ever be able to do 500 at once without just buying a bunch of rolls online, but being able to get them from the bank, can't get mad about that one. Unfortunately, no actual DDO-001. What we found was some MDOs, or double die machining, or machine double dies. I also have a couple of in there that looked like maybe a double die just on the mint mark, which may have also been a repunched mint mark, but either way, just the fact that we found so many with some form of doubling, whether it's a repunched mint mark or not, is actually pretty incredible. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one of these now that we have them separated from the rest of the pile, and we're going to pull out some of the best ones and just kind of showcase them for the end of the video. I hope you're excited about that part as I am. let's get to it. All right, so here's the first one I'm gonna go ahead and showcase. Now this one is actually nice and red, although under the scope, because of the way it's reflecting, it kind of takes away the red color. But taking a look at what we have here, of course, obviously we got machine doubling, but you can see it's very strong and a deep doubling. If you look at the 9, the 6, this 9 right here, this 1, and even the S, that is pretty darn cool if you ask me. Now on this one up in We Trust, there really wasn't anything decent, and then nothing really to show in Liberty. But the 1969S, pretty cool. All right, guys, so here's another one, also a decent color. It's not near as red as the previous one, but there are some shades of red in it. But once again, very strong doubling in the 9, 6, and 9. I don't really see much in the 1, except for maybe the top right there. And obviously the mint mark is very strongly doubled as well. Taking a look at In God We Trust, you can see in Trust, we also have doubling right here, the S and the T. And if we go over, I don't believe on this one we saw anything in God and We, but we did see it in the word trust. And then on Liberty, it looks pretty normal, but you know, having doubling on the 969 and then doubling on the trust is pretty cool. So I'm gonna put this one on our strong pile as well. All right, guys, here's another strong one. This is our third really strong example where you have most of the date, the mint mark. Taking a look at this one, of course, we have the right side of the 1, we have the in and outside of the 9, the 6, and the 9, and a strong doubling on the S. Moving it up, you can see we have doubling on the top of the T right there. And that may be it for In God We Trust. And I don't see anything on Liberty. I'm still gonna put this one in the strong pile because that is a pretty cool find. Okay, guys, and taking a look at this one, this is gonna be our fourth, what I consider to be a pretty strong machining. We have the 1, the inside and the outside of the 9, the inside of the 6. You can kind of see the inside of the second 9. And of course, you can definitely see what's going on with the S there. Now on this one, do we have anything in God We Trust? We'll double check. I know some did and some didn't, but I don't remember which ones. And nothing in Liberty. So this one's strong in 1969S, but not in God We Trust or Liberty. Okay, guys, so the number 5 of a strong one, check this one out. Very, very strong doubling, almost like they pressed it again and then the die slid or the planchet slid, whatever. But look at this. So it's a little bit here apparent in the 1, but looking at the 9 and the 6, holy smokes on the 6. Look at the 9 there. That is really cool. And then check out the S. That is, oh, that almost looks like a DDO, but it's not. And let's take a look at In God We Trust. I don't see anything there. And don't see anything on Liberty, but I tell you what, that is pretty significant right there. I like that one. Okay, guys, now this one here is pretty significant as well. Let's take a look. The S almost looks like it was completely smashed down. If you take a look at this 9 and this 6 and this 9, though, that is crazy. It almost looks like a neat design pattern, like a swirl. You know, 2 9s, one under the other, if you will. But of course, again, machine doubling here. But either way, that is really neat. And the 1 obviously is showing it as well. If we take a look at In Trust, on this one, you can see the T is smashed down at the top. And that may be it, actually, on that one. Let's take a look at Liberty. All right, well, nothing in there, but very significant on the 1969. So definitely a keeper, definitely a strong one. We're gonna put that in our strong finds pile. Okay, everyone, just to finish it up and recap. So this side here, these are a little bit weaker than I really wanted to be, but there's, you know, definitely machining there, just not very strong. This pile in the middle is the biggest pile. There's quite a decent amount of machine doubling on these, but not near as strong as the ones we just recapped on this side. These 7 right here are the ones that we just showed, and man, they have some really cool machine doubling, some really strong doubling strikes. So either way, we're gonna keep these separate. We're gonna keep all of these aside. We're not gonna put them in our copper pennies, but very, very cool that we found so many machine doubled coins. So it's possible that the person that originally owned these was looking for the DDO, and he found a lot of machine doubling, but never found that DDO, or maybe he did. I don't know, but this wasn't the only year that he had rolled up. He had, you know, decades of, you know, coins, or he or she, I don't know, but decades of coins that were rolled up. And, you know, it was cool to go through the 69Ss, just kind of fingers crossed that we would find something. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the hunt. Found some really cool stuff. I think so, at least. And, you know, if you like this video, like I said, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe so you can see them in the future, and we will see you next time. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Now, really quick before you go, over here, I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. It means the world to me. Guys, we also have some videos up here you can check out. If you haven't done so yet, click on those. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe before you go.